Hi, I'm Arlene, host of the television talk show Ask Arlene, which airs on Thursdays at 6:30. And as a business consultant and life coach, I help you to move forward in your business, project, or endeavor. So if you always wanted to write a book, but you just haven't seemed to get started, or you always wanted to 10x that business that you already have, expand it to the next level, you know exactly what you need to do, but you just haven't done it? Well, I've already purchased all the courses, read all the books, the Tony Robbins, all sorts. I have several degrees, including a master's degree and credits toward a doctorate. I've sat with and met celebrities and done the networking. And what I realized is what I really needed was a mastermind group of people working toward my project, my business, or my endeavor. So what I've done is met with coaches and met with experts and put them together to work on your project. So join us today for our Mastermind networking group. I'll see you there. Click the link below and join us.
Ten secrets to overcoming fear, getting unstuck after COVID-19. Chapter number 6, focus. Focus on what you want to accomplish. Quote, starve your distractions and feed your focus. One must begin focus. Remember that thing that is stuck in your craw and you just can't seem to shake. The reason why you are so stuck in that area is because you are focused on the problem. If I could just get up from this problem, if I could just have changed the situation, if Daddy didn't say what he said, if the company president hadn't given the promotion to Donald, if I hadn't gotten fired, whatever it is for you, the bottom line is that you are suffering from hyper focus. Shift the focus. The secret to getting unstuck is to shift our focus. If we will begin by focusing on what we do want instead of what is or was or could have been, the solution will begin to come to us. For example, if we have an unhappy marriage and we're looking to find a mate, don't watch movies where the husband is abusing the wife and trying to kill her or vice versa. Watch a movie where the happy couple get together and live happily ever after. We're spending an hour and a half focusing on a happy relationship. This is easy enough to do, but it's also easy not to do. Some people are working out and eating right, but watching trash on television, reading negative news, and wondering why they're still so distressed. I'll give you a story. Early on in my career, after graduating with a political degree in political science, I was on a mission to work in and to make a positive difference in my community. A key person in my community was a lady, a mature lady in charge of the police precinct. I had lunch with this lady and a local clergy member who was a friend of hers. She stated during the lunch meeting that she would make every effort to ensure that she helps me to work with her. She stated during the lunch meeting that she would definitely find it interesting to work with a young person like me. Then she waxed poetic about how important it was for her to see young people in her community getting involved. She gave me her phone number and said in front of the clergyman that she would call me. She did not call me. Well, I was proactive. I called her and I called her and I called her and I called her. I called her morning, noon, and night for a good while before I finally realized she was not going to ever call me back. So one day, after I had given up, I just decided to focus on what I wanted and allow it to come to me instead of chasing it down like a wild animal or like a pit bull with a rag. As you know, pit bulls are known to lock their jaws and never let go. A couple of months later, I was sitting at my kitchen table and I got a phone call from another community leader who stated that this woman needed help to wrap some presents for the Christmas giveaway for the children and that I should call her. I told him flatly, look, I would love to help, but she won't speak to me. She'll never call me back. He stated that she would answer my call now. And she did. Months later, after I had forgotten about the whole hardship, about reaching her and how she had ignored me, I was sitting at her house, at her kitchen table, eating her delicious spaghetti that she had made after we had worked to accomplish another project. I heard the phone ring, bring, bring, and I watched her sit there and not move. And she began to listen to the person leaving a long message on the machine, begging for her to please pick up, just as I had begged for her to pick up. I felt the heat welling up inside me as I began to become frustrated. I heard the person's plea. But back to focus. Okay? Focus. Focus is a secret of getting unstuck and coming into the thing that you truly desire. Now, I know that some may be thinking that this is metaphysical, it's spooky, it's spiritual, it's woo-woo, as they say. However, this is a credit to the power of focus. Whatever you focus on will grow. Whether it's the disaster that has taken place in your life or that light that you want to bring to you, where is your focus? As the keynote speaker at the conference said, the cavalry is not coming to get us. We have to work toward getting out of stuck mode ourselves. We're consciously and subconsciously hoping that someone will help us with the coronavirus, with our homework, with our bills, with our love life, etc., etc. We're hoping that someone will take our hand and lead us out of the humdrum, everyday pit of grief, perhaps, etc., etc. I'm a nice person. I've helped many people. I was a Girl Scout. I wore the hat and the badge. Surely someone will come and help me when I need help, right? Part of our challenge is that we are so brilliant and so talented and so strong that people don't even know that we need help. They ask us, how are you? And we respond, oh, I'm fine. Maybe we're even smiling when we say it. When they see us wearing our fancy clothes, we're appropriately dressed, and we already have answers to all of their questions, people see us as coming and going, but they aren't coming to rescue us because they do not know that we need rescuing. They don't know how much we're hurting inside unless we get focused and begin to share with someone who is a worthy confidant, of course, what we truly need. They would come if we let them know, but believe me, the people who could help us do not know that we need help. They just don't know that you need help. 3 times in my life, I have known of people who committed suicide. Once in elementary school in Jamaica, once in high school in New Rochelle, and once in college. Each time, people said, they looked so happy. No one knew that they were hurting. I even heard a doctor who committed suicide during the coronavirus the other day when she contracted the virus herself. No one knew of her plea. No one knew of her pain. As I said, the cavalry isn't coming to help us. So we can begin to focus on cultivating positive materials by reading good books like this one, going to conferences, listening to audiobooks, but nothing happens until we make it happen. We must exert force to get out of that pit via focus and momentum and proximity. Steps 1, 2, and 3 that we talked about in the book earlier. I would describe the pit as a dark place. I realized that it had not just been created by the death of my mom, but that pit had been pulling me in for a while. It was a giant snowball that got bigger and bigger and eventually rolled over me. I was stuck underneath it and no one was coming to rescue me. There I was, bludgeoned and weighted by the world like Atlas, the Greek god, but without the strength to move. I couldn't get up. I just didn't know how. The pressure was just too great on me. This can come from the loss of a job or a divorce or an unkind word of that third grade teacher that you're still carrying on, a poor review, etc. It can all add up and then sneak up on us if we're not focused on our positive goal and our definitive goal. Even if we're weighted, you can get up off that couch, then walk to the door, then down the block, then just 2 blocks, then 3, and finally a run around the block. And then we're doing 6 miles on the track. In addition, I was on schedule to doing a half a marathon before the coronavirus hit and we were quarantined. So that's how it started. Getting up, going to the end of the block, around the block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, and then I was on track for a half marathon. The same way that it took a while to create whatever challenges got you stuck or got you afraid, it will take a while to get you unstuck and in a welcomed state. The secret is be kind to yourself along the journey. Don't keep pulling up the roots to see if the tree is growing. Be patient with yourself and follow all these secrets. Watch yourself getting better day by day and celebrate your small wins. So yesterday you didn't get up and take that shower and dress, and today you did one of the 3 things, okay? That's called a win. Celebrate it. Keep making micro wins day by day until one day we realize that goal has been achieved. We remember every event in our lives. Even that event when we were only 4 years old. We know this because under hypnosis, we can recall everything that negative event included. We can tell them. So everything matters. There's nothing that doesn't matter. If the subconscious mind is holding on to everything there is, then we really need to take precautions in terms of what we allow into our mind. Things are either adding up on the positive side and you're having conscious micro wins, or you're subconsciously having micro losses. Nothing stays stationary in nature. We're either moving forward or slowly subconsciously moving backwards. There is always movement. We have all heard of the frogs in the pot that were cooked to death. They could have jumped out of the pot, but the heat was turned up ever so slowly that they didn't even realize that they were being cooked until it was too late. There's always movement. Everything that we listen to and do should be focused and in line with and not contrary to our core values and our core beliefs and our goals. Someone is wondering right now why they haven't found that perfect partner. Meanwhile, they've been lacking integrity in their other relationships. Some people are listening to negative, vulgar music and wondering why they can't get unstuck. Be confident and move forward. Turn off the bad music and play something that's uplifting. Everything that we do matters. The movies that we watch, the magazine articles that we read, posts that we allow ourselves to review while scrolling, everything matters. Our eyes, our ears are the portal to our subconscious mind and ultimately to our very souls. Remember my casual comments about the man in earlier chapters on the cover of the GQ magazine? Everything matters. You are building a mosaic. There is nothing that does not matter. Recurrence. There is a proverb that says, every man was righteous in his own eyes before the law came. Take a personal inventory and see if there's anything that you can glean from focusing on that positive goal. People say that things just happen. However, have you ever noticed that the same things keep happening to the same people? It is possible that there is something you are doing specifically. Is it possible that there is something you're doing specifically that keeps causing that thing to happen to you? Is it possible that since the recurring element in all of those things is you, there may be something that we can learn or something that we can change? Perhaps a paradigm shift would cause us to operate differently. Let us begin to focus on our goals and not just drift along idly, or as Napoleon Hill says in the book, Outwitting the Devil, let us be mindful not to drift. Story. Thomas Edison, he's very well known and a great man. He actually failed over 1,000 times before creating that light bulb. 10,000 times, but he didn't stop. Although I'm sure he must have been discouraged, not knowing exactly when he would achieve his goal. When asked by a reporter how he felt about having failed 1,000 times or 10,000 times, he said that he had never failed. He hadn't even failed once. He just knew several ways now toward creating the light bulb. Furthermore, it's stated that he would work for hours and then take a nap to counterbalance his focus. When he arose, he would know the next step to take. There was also a gentleman by the name of James Dyson who took 4,999 prototypes to create a bagless vacuum cleaner. He stayed focused on his goal and eventually accomplished it and became a very wealthy and successful man and didn't give up until he knew that it worked. Everybody's heard of the Dyson vacuums. So, in closing, what are you focused on? What are you focused on? Summary and activity. 5 steps. 1, focus on one goal at a time to prevent being overwhelmed. Ask yourself, what is the next best thing that I can do to achieve this goal? And stop and wait for it to come to you. 2, determine what has been the focus and what will be the focus in the future. Because we've been getting the results that we've gotten based on what our focus has been in the past, okay? And decide what we need to focus on in order to achieve that true goal in the future. 3, look in the mirror and say, I love you. Perfect love casts out all fear. And that way, you won't have to be afraid about achieving that big goal or that big dream. Just relax and tell yourself you love yourself. And perfect love will cast out all fear. 4, focus your reading materials, listening and watching of videos, movies, and webinars on that one thing that needs to be accomplished right now or overcome. And 5, repeat. Repeat steps 1 through 4 with an alternate goal as progress is made. Many people are saying to themselves, well, I can't achieve this goal because I'm not sure, or I'm not sure which one to start with because I have so many in mind. Well, the secret is to do steps 1 through 4 with just one goal. Okay? And then repeat. Many people never accomplish their goal because they're never definitive. They never just focus on one. There's so many things. There's the house, and there's the partner, and there's the new car that I want, and there's the new career that I want, and there's the new degree, and just focus. Okay? Focus on one thing and repeat steps 1 through 4. the end of chapter 6. I'm Arlene, host of the television talk show Ask Arlene, which airs on Thursdays at 6:30. And I'm here to tell you 2 reasons why you should join our Speakers Bureau training and our how to become a world-class speaker. 1, revenue generation. People who know how to communicate well earn more dollars and cents. And 2, if you have a day job, you're not a speaker, teacher, author, trainer, you're going to gain promotion on your job if you're better able to communicate with confidence in those board meetings. Now, you say, why should I join your group, Arlene? There are so many programs out there. Well, I'm guaranteeing you an interview on television or radio if you complete our 10 sessions of our Speakers Bureau training. So I have a plethora of friends that do the same types of things that I do, and so we're guaranteeing you an interview on either television or radio. And you say, well, why else, Arlene? Why else should I join? Well, if you join our Speakers Bureau after having taken the 10-session training, I am going to help you, along with our team, to launch that speaking career that you always envisioned so that you can use your message to change the world. So there's so many programs out there and they tell you how to be a speaker, but I'm going to actually help you to get booked on paid speaking engagements on television and on radio if you complete all 10 sessions and you join our Speakers Bureau. I hope to see you there and see you using your dream, your vision, and your talent to change the world. Bye-bye. See you there. Hi, I'm Arlene of the Ask Arlene Show. I am so grateful for you to have listened to chapter 6 of the book, 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear, Getting Unstuck, and Living Your Best Life After COVID-19. I want you to know that this book was birthed out of challenge and struggle and my own journey of overcoming my own fear and being stuck. So a couple of years ago, actually about 5 years ago, I was head of a chamber of commerce. I had been the staffer for several high-level elected officials, and I was moving and grooving, moving and shaking, and I got recruited out of 300 people to go clear across the country to take a new job. And so I packed up my stuff, I got a new apartment in this new location, did everything in good faith. And prior to moving there, I had been involved with the business community, and so I was on TV and I was in the newspaper. So when I went to this new capacity, I was the leader on business activities in that community. So I was in the newspapers and I was being called by reporters for comments on what was going on in the business community. So shortly thereafter, a new board of directors came into that particular chamber of commerce. And you guys have heard of Black Lives Matter? Well, this Black life did not matter to them. And they decided to fire me. But guys, wait, they didn't just fire me. No, they fired me publicly. They put my face on the cover of the newspaper, and across my face, it said fired. And guys, that morning, I was supposed to go to a Rotary Club meeting and present, and I was stuck. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. I didn't know what to do. And for about 3 years, I was stuck. I knew I didn't want to go back to that job, but I also wasn't sure what I wanted to do next. I knew I wasn't going to go back to politics, but I didn't know where to turn. And I would read materials and I would watch television shows and, buy programs trying to get out of this stuck place. But one day I met a woman who I met her through television, and she was talking about how she had been stuck and how she was able to come out from being stuck. And I went to her conference, and she was a life coach. So after doing her program, I began to get up. That was like the open door. I went to California for this conference, this $1,000 conference, and that was the open door. And after that, I was able to come up with these 10 secrets, guys, that helped me to move forward in my career, to begin to live in the place that was my dream location, to begin to have my dream partner or be found by my dream partner, to be able to quit my day jobs and just be able to live that life that I had always wanted to live and live the best version of myself. So these 10 secrets are what I put together in this book called The 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear, Getting Unstuck, and Living Your Best Life. And I'm sharing these secrets with you because I'd like for you to be able to have a change in your life as well, in whatever area that is that you really want to move forward. So I also have a program. It's called a 3-day or 3-step 5-day program, okay? And I've talked about it on previous shows, where I get to have an opportunity to talk with you about your specific area that you would like to change. And we go through the 10 steps, okay, in the program. And we're able to help you to get to where it is that you want to go. And then you can come on the TV show and talk about it, or you can go to my mastermind group, the Millionaire Mastermind group, and be able to talk about your success there. And so the idea is that you'll be touched, moved, inspired, and changed by this book and by the program. So how do you sign up? You go right there to askarleneshow.com and you subscribe. You click the subscribe button, put in your information, and you'll be able to go to this free session, the 3-step 5-day program. And also, I'm asking you to subscribe to our show on YouTube. We've started streaming the show on YouTube after it airs on TV. And you go there to, there's the thing. We thank you so much to the team. It's bit.ly. There's a link, bit.ly/Ask Arlene, subscribe. Or just go to YouTube and put in Ask Arlene Show. So I would like to thank the team, Ian and Angel, today for putting this together. And I would also like to thank you, our listeners, for watching. And I ask you to please watch the Ask Arlene Show on Thursday at 6:30. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Oh, and remember, you can go where you want to go. You can do what you want to do. And you can be who you want to be in the world. Bye-bye.
Man, it's lonely. Going through life lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music.
Name some things I'll be without you, good. Stop the growth, I bet you think you could. Said you gon' leave me, man, I wish you would. Yeah, I'm different, so I'm misunderstood. So I'ma always be good. Said I'ma always be good.